meta junglers that are still around. I guess if you want to start looking at tank junglers like the Skarner, that could be something that you're wary of. Varus, once again, being removed. They want to respect JackeyLove there, but it's the first time that Rumble does get left open here. And that is a big power pick for 369 over in the top lane. Has played this champion 3 times so far, has been able to pull out some quite good games. Aurora, is it available? Nope, it was already used in game 1 here, so no chance for TheShy to get that massive counter pick in the top lane there. IG, are they just going to go ahead and slam their answer for TheShy, or are they going to want to look for something else? Yep. Ornn is secured for IG's top laner here, and now, maybe, just maybe, IG will continue to open and reveal their cards on what their draft is going to look like. Taking some time here to really think about all their options. Rakan, nicely done for IG. As the premier line of supports are starting to thin out here, Leona could be the answer that Hong goes for to try and counter it. But the nice thing about Rakan, as we've seen in the past, there's flexibility in being able to go forward. You have non-committal engage with the Call of the Forge God. You can always fish for it. And if it ends up not being a good opportunity for IG, they don't have to full send it. They can always back off. Top Esports now have to start matching some engage power of their own, because IG already have 2 strong ways of starting off fights. JackeyLove, looking at that Xayah, it was not banned this time around, and that's a way to avoid all of these engage tools from the side of IG. Top Esports, limited on jungle options, as we already talked about, a lot of the meta junglers taken off the table, but Hong will go for the Meiko. So now, that's their big engage tool. Pop Blossoms are going to have to be a big point for Hong to land if Top Esports want to close this series out. IG, what do they want to close this first round with? Do they want to look for an 80 carry option to match up before the bans start coming their way? Gala is going to rely on his Ezreal, tied at one of his most picked champions this split so far with 3. And we've seen Gala Ezreal in history being able to pop off and pull out big performances there. He'll have the mobility, he'll have the safety to be able to pick and choose his fights. So far, as we've already noted from the side of Top Esports, the only engage tool that is available so far is that Pop Blossom. Equalizer is not necessarily an engage tool, it is a follow-up tool. You want to make sure that people are already CC'd and locked down so that the Equalizer can continue doing work. The only other time that you'll be able to reliably use it is if you find a choke point for the funnel. As Silas gets taken off the board, so does the Yone.
I'm in. All right.
Boom.
Guys, it's been 8 hours since I've eaten something. I'm sorry. I'm glad that Raafaa was able to get through this. Raafaa, you can take a second to drink, you know, get yourself nice and relaxed. Like you had noted, Pop Blossom, the only available crowd control here for Top Esports. But a lot of tools here from IG that can kind of avoid it, especially with this Rakan and Ezreal. So, want to see what the mid-jungle situation here for Top Esports is going to be. And all series long, we've been talking about pinching the bottom lane pools. Now in game number 3 of this series, 4 mid lane bans already coming through. 5 now that you consider it. And that Nocturne finally going to be that last ban for Top Esports.
Could you imagine if Paranoia blanketed the map with darkness and you had no idea where the Call of the Forge God was coming from? That is a good call out, but now it is Wei going to be leading the charge with Jarvan, and so far, that has always been a strong answer into the Xayah, because if she doesn't have Flash, yes, you can pop up with the Featherstorm, but you will not be able to escape the Cataclysm terrain.
Also allows you to make some plays onto some of the more mobile members. Again, nobody from Top Esports really has a dash in that same way that gets you out of being able to dodge the flag and drag. So, Top Esports, we had noted in game number 2 that Skarner was a champion that Kanavi has been prioritizing more here in split number 3, and that is going to be his answer. It does mean that Top Esports, very short range right now. It seems like they really want to receive a lot of the engage from IG, and in terms of damage, I would say that Top Esports are a little bit more, you know, focused on being able to pop certain members.
Creme's Tristana?
Ooh. That's a legendary pick. It was one of the few champions that he had kind of made a name for himself outside of those assassins. But as we have done before, Raafaa, we've been baited by hovers. And it's going to be the Victor, which I don't like. I'll be honest here. I think that you get punished too hard by a Jarvan, by an Ornn, and what could be a Galio here for Rookie.
So, two things. One, if IG slam the snowball once again, and this Victor doesn't get a chance to scale, I agree. This Victor will not have any way of being able to just stop Jarvan outside of having Flash available. But if top esports are able to weather the storm, we have seen some Victors answer threats like the Jarvan in the past by going for a scaling build, but that puts a lot more agency into IG's hands to control how the early game goes. So top esports here, with the last two picks in Skarner and Victor, went from having a bit of a flexibility in their power scaling to now saying we are going full late game on this one.
Top esports, if they can make it, right? Like, there is some eventuality with the scaling here for IG. The thing that I'm worried about is, in the same way that we think that top esports has a lot of damage, I don't think IG have enough damage, actually, because it's just Ezreal who's going to be peppering. Galio can go for AP builds, so let's see if that is what Rookie decides to opt in for. But later into this game, in terms of range, you are ultimately reliant on Wei and Meiko, a duo that I didn't know if I was necessarily going to trust going into this series, but they need to come up huge for their team if they want the chance to be able to take down top esports and make a dent here in their 8-1 record.
Things were looking very dicey for IG at the beginning of the series after Game 1 ended, but they made a hell of a comeback in Game 2. We'll see if they can continue that momentum forward, or if top esports return to form and put an end to the series with an orange dub and push themselves to 9-1 at the end of this week, right before taking on BLG in tomorrow's match. It is top esports taking on IG for Game 3.
敌军还有30秒到达战场。
We need to get the cat back on that couple. I need to see whether or not the guy is getting getting silenced again.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting to note. We'll see where these junglers are starting, but it is going to be Creme taking the Summon Airy, not a rune that we tend to see for Victors. Usually it is either going to be that Electrocute. Sometimes we see Grasp. We've also seen a little bit of Phase Rush, but wants to get a little bit of more. He knows that this team is going to be moving towards him, so if you're playing in shorter ranges, Summon Airy actually can be a little bit stronger in that instance, but it did get nerfed a while ago, so wonder what we'll see. And big focus for this game, Raafaa. Will top esports actually be able to get through IG's tankiness? Rookie, TheShy, the soul laners are going to have a massive presence in this game.
I mean, that's 3 big meatballs that you're staring down on the side of IG, and even Meiko.
Oh,
more
it's
than
that
likely.
late. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
The twang's
Sorry,
coming out.
The twang started creeping in. It still might persist. Oh my goodness! I can't get out of it now. Okay,
No!
Give me like 10 seconds.
It was all that Korean you were speaking while we were going on break here.
How does
They had
that make any
9
sense?
game, and I think a interesting matchup that we'll see here in this game is 369 versus TheShy. 369 has obviously made a living on being a tank player, but originally was a big carry player, whereas TheShy has had some int moments when it came to tanks in years past, but has been, I think, one of our best top laners, playing both the carries and the tanks. So in this Ornn matchup, a big nullifier against the Rumble. Is English Raafaa back in the building with us?
Let's see. So far,
Okay.
the twang has not returned. Okay, we're good. Kanavi managing to steal away some chicken nuggets away, or not stealing away, I should say. Kanavi's on his own side of the map here. Damn, it is that late. Guys, it is almost 9 a.m. I have been up for the past... And I'm not even the poor soul that had to work 9 games in a row. You know, once again,
True.
shout out to our producer and social and VODS.
And, yeah, yep, true. But Kanavi, while being on his side of the jungle, there's early wards here from IG that get to spot him. That is the most important part, stopping Kanavi from making any early plays, especially with the priority of this bottom lane. We're seeing now Wei going for some interesting pathing. He wants to see if he can punish Creme 8 seconds before he has his flag back up. And they're going to make a play. Rookie can look for a flash taunt.
Over the wall. He's going to set himself up in the Raptor camp. He doesn't even need it. It's just the dash forward. The EQ lands true, and Creme flash. Oh, it's so late. Wei is able to get the better of him there, and it's first blood for IG.
Kanavi will get both scuttles because he can now move with his rumble. But Creme, pay some more respect, man. Just flash when Galio walks in, and you know that the Jarvan is behind you. An unfortunate error, and some of the things that we were talking about in the pre-show about Creme having to step up, some mistakes that he has made by himself, and Top Esports as a team and as an organization, we've talked about in series past, are only going to go as far as Creme can take them.
And I've loved Creme when he's been able to perform at his best, but this guy has also been some of the source of frustration for Top Esports fans just because of the lack of consistency in his decision-making in these early lane scenarios. Just remember from Game 2, when IG made a proactive gank, Creme immediately flashed without hesitation just to preserve his HP in the lane. This time around, he allows Rookie to step up, look for the taunt. Probably didn't expect the wave to come around the corner like that, but by the time it happens, and then he flashes at the very last minute, Wei is just super patient and just waiting for Creme to make the first move before following up. And now, when we get to level 6, Creme won't have flash, he can never step up, he'll need to have Hong around the corner or Kanavi there to protect him, and it's not like Hong is playing a tankier support, this is a Meiko. So if then Hong gets his position compromised, oh, that you can already see the train wreck happening for Top Esports afterwards.
For sure. Saw that little banner at the top right. It is TheShy's 600th game in the LPL. Probably would have hit that sooner if he didn't take a break to play Valorant on stream, but as it happens, and a legendary top laner being able to hit that benchmark, and playing very well so far in 2025. Again, a team that we are expecting. Both of these teams should be expected Worlds representatives.
Look at that.
The heal from Hong gives him just enough movement speed to dodge out on Meiko as we see IG moving into the bot side to maybe make a play around this dragon early on.
The funny thing is that Rookie was not level 6, Creme was, but just the threat alone that Creme could not move safely from his lane while Rookie could. That is enough for Hong to have paid respect to the grand entrance opportunity that Meiko was looking for.
It's going to be a swap here with the Orin. I like it. I like the idea here. Yes, you're into a Xayah Nico, but you already knew that that lane was going to be a little bit more tough. It has opened up an advantage here for JackeyLove. Almost 15 CS over his lane opponent. They will not have Ezreal for this dragon play. I don't think IG can do this. They know, though.
Flash
oh,
over the
boy.
Wall. Okay. Taunt, he doesn't even need the flash. EQ right on top. The gravity zone is going to stun them, but Meiko follows up with the grand entrance, and Creme continues to crumble as Hong tries to flash forward, looking for the follow-up onto Kanavi, but neither of these guys do really damage. They're early on in this game 3. JackeyLove trying to see if he can find someone, but he cannot get close enough. Meiko and Wei both make it out alive.
That is a massive win again here for IG. 2 repeat plays. We talked about, hey, he doesn't have flash. Well, now you have to be careful about how you walk in. They're going to use the priority from 369 to try to steal away camps from Wei, but all he has to do is recall, go towards the bottom side of the map and either get a scuttle or one of his respawn camps here. Actually, screw that. He doesn't need them. He has level 6 now thanks to all of the early kills he's participated in.
And you still have about a minute and a half before Creme's flash comes back off cooldown. So if I'm Wei, I'm running straight wherever Creme is. And right now, he's on the bottom side of the map. TheShy has Call of the Forge God.
He might just solo kill him, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, he already has a Negatron cloak. I think it's very realistic with Wei finishing his bottom side camps. We'll have to see. I don't think that IG really want to give up 3 grubs, but it may not be their choice. As we take a look back at this replay. And a big win, I think, for the side of IG is not only do they kill Creme a second time, but they do this while Top Esports are grabbing the dragon. So there's really no response coming in from their opponents.
Just overall, maybe this is too harsh, but it seems like greedy pathing. Obviously, you want to get back to the wave, but the wave was still taking a bit of time. You could have taken the long way around. There's no fog there, or there's no vision in that line rush, and Creme just continuously getting punished here. Obviously, top esports can try and scale with these damage dealers, but if you are giving IG this big early game window, Wei is reaping the benefits. He can continue pushing the pace of this game and ensure that top esports don't get a chance to come back.
Hong needs to be careful though. Wasting time like this in the jungle is great for Kanavi, but you want to get access to that ultimate as soon as possible here. And he's a quarter of a level down versus Meiko. Meiko getting access to more of his waves. This will be another wave that he misses out on mid, so it's great for the AD carries. I mean, JackeyLove gets to be up on Gala, but that Pop Blossom is a game-changing ultimate, and one of the only ways that top esports can more reliably find a way to start and end fights.
Meiko forced to grand entrance away. Still has the flash available. The impale! Oh, Meiko, that's just too flat. The flash direction is still going to get caught by the impale. All right, top esports will find their first kill in this game 3.
Okay. So maybe they can make a play on bottom side, mostly just making sure that Creme is safe on this side of the map. I like this. You're getting gold back into your Victor. It's exactly what we wanted to see, especially with how the early game has panned out right now. And this is not great, because look at Rumble right now. Rumble's like, ah, great, I'm out of the lane with Ornn. Checks my notes. Crap, it's Gallia. Oh. Ah, well, damn.
You cannot win if you're a top esports solo.
He deserves it after that Galley. After that Jace game, he deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, IG just get to reap the rewards of being able to both rush Spectre's Cowl into some heavy magic resist item. This is going to be a Katic Rookern for TheShy.
Oh, yeah.
Rookie. More than likely, I think he can build a Hollow Radiance from this point. Yep.
It gives you wave clear, so makes sense. He's going to teleport back down to this bottom wave, catch this one. Creme will have access to his teleport. Now, Dragon spawns in a minute, and top esports, grabbing the first Dragon is great. It makes sure that you're keeping IG honest in this game. They're not going to have time or get freebies into scaling, but with where our damage dealers are at right now, Gala, he had the Cole early on, but he's nowhere near finishing an Essence Reaver or even a Trinity Force, so like, JackeyLove does a hell of a lot more damage than his opponent right now.
The question is, can the rest of top esports step up and create the space for JackeyLove to find that window to pop off on this objective fight? First items are not coming online anytime soon for the top side here of Boys in Orange. IG just might be able to have enough power off of these 3 first item spikes to be able to control the outcome of this second Dragon.
It's going to be IG first on the play. Hong gets engaged upon.
Oh boy, that's the feat of warfare secured, and Hong gets dropped. JackeyLove goes to the skies, still has the flash, forced to use it to escape the Cataclysm. And now that's Isaiah down a flash.
That's the problem with this Nico is you are an engaged support, can be very dangerous in the laning phase, but you have no tank stats. You are a complete burst mage in that way. So Hong has to walk all the way back here. IG don't have a lot of damage, so it may be a little bit late. You see Creme is kind of moving on forward, but there's really nothing else for top esports to do during this time. Maybe an invade onto the top side.
Kanavi forced to flash away from the EQ flag and drag, as he surely would have gotten comboed to all hell. IG continuing to take some of the spells off the board from top esports. Not another objective to play for another 2 minutes and 50 seconds here, as the Rift Herald will spawn. TheShy is setting himself up to be in position. Good knock up onto Kanavi. Hong with Pop Blossom catches TheShy as he's pinned into the wall. Impale onto the Ornn, and he flashes away. Is it enough? The Chaos Storm,
no way.
Vortex. Oh, the shield from the hero's entrance, but a massive equalizer for 369. Call the Forge God run into 4 members, but they don't have enough damage to be able to back it up. As long as IG can just exit, they only lose Meiko in the crossfire, and top esports are fighting for their life to get an advantage back in this game.
They have 3 grubs. They're going to get 3 plates off this mid wave, and all in all, the original objective is still secured. Top esports, they get gold onto JackeyLove and Hong, and Kanavi gets to take these top side camps. It'll be red, respawn Raptors, And if he's greedy, he'll go for the Krugs. But I think right now what he wants to do is take all of these camps that he has on his side of the map. He's going to have potentially 6 camps up to also take. So he's going to skyrocket in his advantage over Wei. As we take a look back at this replay, TheShy plays this so magnificently. Not only getting the knockup onto Kanavi, but just delaying, stalling time. And that hero's entrance that you had noted from Galio ends up saving him at the very last moment versus the Arcane Storm. Fortunately for IG, you do get a lot of flashes out from some of your carries here, some of your big pieces in this game, but Top Esports, they're going to take any little bit of an advantage they can get here.
Trying to fight for mid-prio right now. Gala pushing up against JackeyLove. Rest of IG posturing in the top river here. Rift Herald's about to spawn in the next minute. They just want to get Scuttle Crab and get out for the vision. Kanavi threatening. Nice EQ into the Scuttle Crab. The slow from Kanavi, trying to look for Wei and follow up with an Impale, but it wasn't even up for another 8 seconds. Just the threat of it alone to see if Wei would burn anything. But funny enough, both of these junglers don't have flash, so it was just all a pressure game that neither really could take advantage of, as we are now 45 seconds away from the next objective spawning.
Rookie does hit level 11 and will have that ultimate in 30 seconds. Cream playing a little bit more respectfully, but maybe looking for a rotation. It's going to be an ultimate available for our 2 solo laners of Top Esports, and a big fight for them to win here. At 8-1, they need to be able to keep up pace with BLG at this moment if they want to at least have a honest argument to see if they can finish first in the regular season. And with this objective that's coming on through, actually Creme doesn't end up recalling. He wants to try to trap Rookie and force him to use either his ultimate or his TP to get to this play.
JackeyLove has Hong here to escort him through the mid wave and get priority and first move. Rift Herald has now officially spawned. Gala arrives back to the mid lane now with a Trinity Force fully completed. Still trying to stack up this tier, but not that much damage outside of these Trinity Force empowered Mystic shots. If IG can get in position to maybe layer some poke down, it would make Top Esports' lives a little more difficult in trying to make that objective happen. And as you called out, Creme currently pinning Rookie on the bottom side of the map, seeing if he can try and burn an overall global move, whether with the teleport or the hero's entrance. And right now, Top Esports have full control and first say into the river.
So if Top Esports grab this objective, they get themselves at least the feat of epic monster slaying. Wei is committed to going towards the bottom side of the map. They're going to be late for this objective. Gallo's going to move, and it's Creme that has to respond with teleport. But Rookie's going to be here first for sure.
Where can Creme safely teleport to? It's just right on top of the Rift Herald. Pop Blossom from Hong. Just try to stall the entrance from IG. They lose Hong.
Wei's dead.
He's done his job. Rift Herald secured. Wei pinned in the Cataclysm. JackeyLove able to dodge all the damage, but the Call of the Forge God stalls his damage output for now. Equalizer slows down the chase from IG, and now they're forced to back off. No one else falls in the crossfire, and in the end, you have to imagine that that is everything that Top Esports could hope for.
They're going to push them off, get some more damage on this mid lane turret. I like how aggressive they're playing this. Rookie's teleporting back in.
Kanavi has flash available, should not be in any danger. A teleport is now coming out from
no.
369, flashing away from the taunt, dodging and sidestepping it all, but that's just too much CC from the boys in IG as they're able to find and punish 369's Rumble. TheShy looks for a knockup onto Kanavi. Creme has no mana, tries to fire out one last laser, and that's it. That's no more damage in the tank. Creme is just a walking health bar at this point. JackeyLove trying to pressure as well. This game is at an all-time high in tension.
We are just trying to see every single little bit of pressure squeezed from this game. 369 actually experiences what Zeus found in the HLE versus T1 game, where you teleport influences where you land when you get up. He thought he was going to end up behind the turret, and that's where Rookie was setting up the taunt. He actually ends up on the wrong side and flashes for seemingly no reason. So a big punish there for Rumble. No flash, no teleport now in a side lane versus a Rumble, Ornn, a Galio, and a Jarvan. That could be a huge misstep as JackeyLove. Oh no!
JackeyLove! Featherstorm was off cooldown and he had the flash, but it was the CC chain from IG layered in that there is no chance for him to escape. Now TheShy might be in trouble here, has the flash available, and there's a blast cone, so he doesn't even need to use the summoner spell. He's got a way out of there.
I think that top esports, they're getting a little too lost in the sauce right now. They're getting sucked into the chaos that we expect from IG. And that is a good spot if you're Invictus Gaming. You are making it so that you're now wasting spells. Creme doesn't feel comfortable to farm on a side lane. Rookie is by himself pushing top lane because JackeyLove ended up dying. So someone has to take control of mid lane. This is more and more gold going to the wayside right now. And IG, this is where they want to be in this series right now. Game 3, tensions on the line. It's just a regular season game, but these guys are playing as if this is like an early playoff bout. They know that these teams are going to be facing off against each other. Look back at this fight. It is JackeyLove getting so much done, barely using his blade caller to make sure that he can get back into this fight.
And it starts off well for top esports. They get the Rift Herald. They only drop 1 in Hong, but then everything starts to crumble afterwards.
Yeah, it's literally just because he teleported from topside. If he had teleported from base, he would have landed right into Rookie. But because that is now a feature, teams are not ready for it. Obviously, our laners are only just now learning about this tech. Obviously, teleport has been in the game for a long time, but it's a pretty new change. Look, if Zeus didn't know it, I'm going to expect a lot of our other teams just didn't know that this was a thing.
Yeah, just never really in a position where that teleport has punished them before, but now we get a prime example. And sometimes those can be the experiences that you end up never forgetting and will always take with you going forward. The gold lead is practically even. It is just a few hundred gold difference. You look at the individual gold differences, not really much to be said there. Maybe almost 1,000 gold advantage for Rookie. Top esports still have a little bit of a scaling advantage, but right now the way that IG are creating so many opportunities with these quick snap engagements with 369, there's no flash available. Gala can just send a true shot barrage. I'm not sure if it even landed, but it doesn't even matter because he falls anyway. Hong with the re-engage of the Pop Blossom. Kanavi, 2-man Impale, will be able to silence Wei. Looking for Rookie next. He flashes over the wall and a quick dash on that Justice Punch gets him out of danger. But Kanavi's continuing for the chase. Gala forced to flash, and TheShy could not get in range to stall them with a call of the Forge God. And because they don't have a jungler, top esports are going to pull the trigger on this Otacon.
Rookie can teleport, however, and TheShy has a huge flank with his ultimate. This has to be a game-changing fight here for IG, and they're in perfect position, but they have no jungler, as you noted.
Meiko, can he swap to a smite? I don't think so. Called the Forge God. It is canceled by JackeyLove. Is he able to dodge it?
Gala's dead!
Gets blown up by Creme with the Chaos Storm. Meiko falls next. JackeyLove is able to survive through it all, but the Otacon gets reset. Wei is running from base. It is a huge health bar. They have to chunk, but it might not be enough time. Rookie and TheShy have to pull off a miracle to give Wei an entrance back into the pit. It is now 7,000 HP. Plenty of time for Wei to play around. TheShy dashes forward,
can he make
creates
the steal?
Space, forces Kanavi to re-enter. Wei looking for JackeyLove, knows that he has no spells. Rookie finishes him off. It's up to Creme to find the damage back. Kanavi getting dropped critically low, but Wei gets blown up by Creme. Rookie's able to answer back with a double kill. It's absolute chaos. The taunt on the Creme. Holy moly! Rookie with the triple kill saves IG.
How iconic, by the way. It is Rookie and TheShy that are the final members to live in this fight. Gala TP's back into this play, and after all is said and done, Invictus Gaming will get an ace. They will take this top lane tier 1, and they will grab themselves the Otacon.
The Kings of Chaos thrive in the pandemonium on the top side, and even without the jungler, they know that there's no way that top esports can deny this Otacon. And just like that, Dimitri, IG keep themselves in this game.
This Otacon was ripping them to shreds, and JackeyLove misuses his blade collar. Thinks that Wei's gonna walk into it, doesn't have that available to him. Great trap there that we had set up all the way from draft. Gets a double knockup as well. Wei, for as much as we have given him discredit, disservice for his performance in some of these games, the overall utility of his champion cannot be denied. And Danny knows, man. He's like, whatever, dude. If this is how we get it, fine.
A win's a win at the end of the day.
Correct.
And IG, hey, oh no! Wei gets snagged by the Impale. Hong with the Pop Blossom. Is there enough damage behind it? JackeyLove rips Wei to shreds. Meiko could be
getting
next.
owned.
Creme is burning them down with the storm. Maybe Hong can look for another snare. TheShy is in trouble. He's trapped in the pit. Rookie answers back onto Creme. He gets dropped. 369 now trying to burn Rookie. Gala trying to fire mystic shots one after another, and he still has enough tanks. Rookie and TheShy just don't die.
TheShy solo kills JackeyLove in there with Wei next to him. He's like, I'm too tanky. You do not have enough damage to kill me right now. And now, this is IG getting themselves soul point. And it just feels now, Top Esports, they're running into a wall. Nothing is working for them. Everything that is trying to go right for them is going wrong. We come right out of a replay to get back into this fight. Look at this. This looks like it should be a perfect setup, but the crowd control, and I'll be honest, Raafaa, I think the solo lanes of Top Esports are really letting this team down right now. We are seeing massive engagements from Hong, and the draft is doing no favors for them right now.
It just doesn't seem like they're set in position to follow up on the engages either, whether it's a fault of their own or just miscommunication and just not pulling the trigger fast enough. We already talked about how, look at the damage number. Rookie is gapping Creme, and he's playing a tank.
Yep. Turns out Galio's pretty OP, but let's see it. IG now, a composition that we had said doesn't necessarily have enough damage, but if Top Esports aren't in position, then they can punish that incredibly well. In the last 3 minutes here, Raafaa, they've won 2 separate fights. The Dragon, the Otacon, and now 3 outer turrets. There's a huge swing of gold coming in for IG.
And Top Esports are just begging for more time because you can see how difficult it is for them to punch through the massive front line that has just been continuously accelerated after successful fight after successful fight. We talked about how difficult it was going to be for our double AP solo laners to try and punch through tanks that are rushing a bunch of magic resist. Creme went for a double burn build. No real magic penetration. It is flat. That is going to do absolutely nothing. And we are now just getting a Bloodletter's Curse because 369 has been decelerated this entire game. I don't know if it's going to be enough now, if it's too late to turn this game around. But you have to hope for Top Esports, if you are rooting for these guys, that finally things will start to look up as the scaling factor is coming back. But IGs have that gold advantage on their side.
And they're going to have massive spikes as well. Ornn on a side lane giving out 2 of his Masterwork items to his teammates right now. If he gets level 16, he'll have a 3rd point in that Call of the Forge God as well as another item. Baron is up on the table, so IG, they pushed in on bottom wave. You see that Rookie waiting.
Oh, I love that.
JackeyLove's flash.
Yep, JackeyLove still has Featherstorm, but he does not have that Summoner Spell. Hong looking for the Pop Blossom onto 2. Kanavi pulls him back with the Impale. Meiko is eliminated. TheShy a little too far away. Call of the Forge God. Will it get canceled here? Hero's entrance will give him some reprieve. Goes back in for the re-engage. That's a lot of damage from the True Shot Barrage. The Gala being able to pump out Mystic Shots one after another from safety. Rest of IG cannot continue the chase. And for the first time, Top Esports are able to hold their ground.
They can just outrange their opponents with this Ornn and this Ezreal right now. We're seeing IG take apart Top Esports, who have tried to play an aggressive game all series long. It worked for them in game number 1, but these last 2 games have looked anything but TES-sided. And like you had said, there's a lot of eventual damage for a player like Creme. He will eventually kill someone like an Ornn, but does he have enough HP to be able to deal with that, as Ornn and Galio are just going to walk at him and will not care if he's slowly burning them down. Galio can teleport, but there's no hero's entrance, and we're just trying to make sure that IG, they're getting set up for this Baron.
As much of the chaos has benefited IG for the past 15 minutes here, Kanavi is getting tankier and tankier with every consecutive bloodbath. He is now 336 stacks on this Heartsteel, so he is getting super damn tanky. And even though IG have effectively 3 frontliners, Kanavi will be a super tank on his own. And maybe it might just be enough of a wall to let Creme and Top Esports stand behind in order to pump out the damage necessary to burn through this massive front line that IG have had.
They're getting damage though. Look at JackeyLove, finished with the Infinity Edge. He's gonna get probably his LDR after this. Creme has a Blighting Jewel and the upgraded Sork Pen Boots from the Feats of Strength. So he's starting to be able to deal damage and pump through these front lines. But IG, you have 30 seconds before an Infernal Soul. If we're talking about lack of damage from the draft, you know, some questions that we had, this would be one way to supplement that. A soul that is going to empower you, and 3 Infernal Dragons at that if they're able to secure this. Teleport comes on through for 369. He only has 2 items. He's barely level 15 at this point. I think we need a little bit more experience, but you're not going to have that time here as IG. They're not going to give you this amount of space.
Teleport is coming in from IG. This is Infernal Soul that is on the line. Top Esports have to do everything possible to deny it away from IG. Creme stepping up, trying to damage TheShy. I don't think he's even put a single lick of damage to him. He is just way too damn tanky. Creme is going to have to wait for a 3rd item spike. I don't even know if he has one. The Impale is only shifted by Gala. So that big engage tool is gone for Top Esports. Meiko looks for it. The Pop Blossom from Hong, but Wei is able to buffer through with the EQ. Kanavi gets eliminated. Creme is going to be the next one to fall, and JackeyLove just has to leave because he cannot bail out his teammates yet again.
No.
Rookie goes golden. Blade Caller doesn't find anything, and IG still have all 5 to secure the Infernal Soul.
JackeyLove and 369, they're going to have to watch. That's Infernal Soul here for IG. Now an upgraded Rabadon's here for Rookie. And those were important summoner spells going missing here. Flash from Creme, Cleanse from JackeyLove. He was nowhere near that fight. Top Esports, they were trying to play around this. They're going to just kill 369.
Oh, they don't get the knockup, but Rookie just slams a Justice Punch to the face, and IG eliminate the top laner once again. 369 is going to be gone for 45 seconds. Baron is up again. That should be secured for IG since Kanavi is just respawning now. There's nothing that Top Esports can do to stop this.
Dude, what is it with IG, man? This team is so incredible with what they're able to do in series. There's a reason why we call them the most entertaining team in the LPL. It almost seems like magic from what we've seen from them in some of these series. As look at where the damage dealers are. They're not only split, but they cannot move forward into this choke point versus a Galio and an Ornn with this Jarvan. This is an incredibly tough spot to fight. Hung doesn't even get an effective ultimate. This is just a mess from Top Esports, and more of some of those worries that we've had from them as regular season merchants and some of the worries we'll have going into playoffs.
And for IG to do this after a devastating loss against anyone's legend just yesterday, a huge show of resiliency, and it continues adding to the overall hype and expectations that IG are finally living up to ever since they assembled the majority of this super team to kick off the start of 2025. And like you said earlier, Wei started off this series rough and had a lot of criticisms thrown his way, but he has been able to answer back with back-to-back stellar games of not just doing his job. He's been able to overperform and be clutch when his team needed to.
Just going to be some sparring over the entrances. IG moments away from beating Top Esports, tying up the head-to-head, and finally finding their 3rd series win against a top 4 team in the LPL. All year long, it has been a struggle for this team, but they have been improving from split to split.
Here it comes. Call of the Forge God lands onto JackeyLove through the Feather Storm. He's got nowhere to go. That's the leading MVP scorer taken out of the game. Top Esports just get aced in their own base, and the Kings of Chaos will take vengeance against Top Esports and close out the last series of the day.
A 2-1 going over to IG. Absolute domination, and we were talking about it as TheShy versus 369, maybe Creme versus Rookie, JackeyLove and Gala. I have to say, top lane this series, TheShy outperformed 369 from start to finish. I mean, that first game, yes, he had a lot of attention, and that's unfortunate for TheShy, but after that, he bounced back in an incredible way and was so versatile, both on the Gwen and on the Ornn.
TheShy continuing to deliver. Meiko and Gala continuing to find consistent moments where they can leverage that advantage. Big shout out to Wei and Rookie. Not only Wei had to answer back from a very, very tough opener showed up by Kanavi in that Pantheon versus Xin Zhao performance. Not only Wei is able to answer back in stellar Poppy performances, a stellar Jarvan performance, Rookie in back-to-back games as well, able to persist through even when things were starting off rough and continuing to deliver. As we know, that has been a big hesitancy when trying to get excited about Invictus Gaming in the past, but they deliver today. And if that's something that IG can replicate going forward, then the hopes for a dark horse from this squad is very real when it comes to playoffs.
And there is so many important matchups. These next 2 days are going to have some of the biggest ones that we see in the regular season. Today was IG Top Esports. Tomorrow is going to be BLG versus Top Esports. And the day after that, IG versus BLG. I think a massive bout now that we've seen between all of our top 4 teams facing off against each other. It's only getting tighter here. We are going into some of the last stretches of the LPL regular season. We're getting closer to the playoffs here. It is what? We are on day 29 of a 40-day season. We're almost done.
11 more days, y'all. 11 more days, and then the Rumble stage fully concludes. The second round comes to an end. And wherever you end up in the standings, if you can make it in that top 4, in fact, let's go ahead and show the standings right now, just to remind everyone as we await for that last MVP graphic to show. This guarantees that Top Esports do not move ahead BLG in the standings with what could have been a 9-1 series score. IG plays spoiler to that. They move ahead of anyone's legend for now, continuing to hold on to 3rd seed unanimously. And tomorrow, Top Esports are going to have to bounce back from a pretty devastating loss.
Not very clean setups as we got further into the series. 369 has been a little bit of a liability so far. There's been some games where he hasn't been as solid. Another time where we see TheShy actually take advantage of 369 in a series. I know we were talking about it. It's the very first time we saw this matchup in Split 3. And now we'll see if Top Esports can bounce back. Obviously, Bin is a really tough opponent to face off in the top side, and BLG seem like they're ramping up, even if they may have just lost some of their most recent series versus AL.
It's only been 1 series loss for BLG so far in the split. Top Esports, now it's 2. And for IG to clinch this one out, it gives a lot of promise and a lot of experience going forward into playoffs. Obviously, with this roster being as well known from the individuals on this team, obviously you have many international championship victories among this crew, but as a squad, that has been the overall development arc that we have had the pleasure of witnessing over the course of 2025. When it first started in Split 1, there was a lot of questions, and not always the individuals were looking great. It took a while for players like Gala and Meiko to clean up a lot of their play until we got here into Split 3. TheShy was starting to show some glow-ups in Split 2, but still some question marks around the jungle and mid lane pool. For IG, they are hoping that Rookie can continue to deliver performances like this going forward.
It isn't clean. It isn't pretty. But goddamn, is it exciting, man. This team, miracle team fights, in crazy setups. And again, this fight around the Otacon, I just feel is so poetic. Not only is it Wei getting kind of backline access there, but the last 2 members that are able to clutch out this fight, TheShy and Rookie. How else do you kind of write this kind of story here? Justice Punch ends it all off, and they just chase out the rest of Top Esports. This is as cinematic as you could possibly get from the LPL here.
Everything was on a knife's edge. You could see that as soon as every single champion started to drop, pressure just continued to mount for the remaining survivors in that all-out bloodbath. And in the end, it is our 2 solo laners yet again every single time just leading the charge and creating space. Whether Gala's still alive or not, this front line from IG proved to be unkillable. And for Top Esports, I don't even know if I can question something like the draft. It just seemed like it came down to execution, how the early game
I would have
went.
loved the Tristana game here, man. This is the Tristana game that we should have gotten. Like, being able to buffer out of the Jarvan engage, buffer out of the Galio. You get a good matchup there. You can let 369 be solo AP instead of relying on JackeyLove to be your only source of attack damage when he's going to be very short-ranged. I feel like a lot of the AD carry pool was obviously pinched during this series a lot of the time, and I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Again, we were focusing on mid lane, whether or not Creme was going to be able to perform, and there was some questions that were left unanswered.
It's just so crazy to think about how stark of a contrast we got from how Game 1 started for Top Esports, where it was just a straight-up wash over IG.
Oh, yeah. We thought it was going to be 2-0. I was excited to go to bed.
And then IG came back to play, and Top Esports just didn't know how to respond in ways that were stabilizing for themselves, just continuing to fall victim to their own complacency or their overconfidence. And then going into Game 3, at least this time around, it seemed like they were trying to pay more respect, but just the early advantages created through mid lane, Rookie and Wage, being able to punish Creme over and over, really put a damper. And who do we get? It should be Rookie.
Okay.
Deathless on the Galio.
Yeah, I would have given it to him or TheShy. I think these guys played really, really well for this game, and an excellent performance coming on through for Rookie. Oh, I've got this. I forgot. We opened up some cards. We have the...
Nice. Very nice.
So, well, Raafaa, that's it. We made it. Unfortunately for us, it was a 9-game day. Fortunately for us, there were some really, really great games that we got to see throughout this season, throughout today's series. And yeah, that's actually insane.